manner, then he's broke and you should definitely not date him.
Would I date a guy who brings in $40,000 a year? There's nothing wrong with not wanting to be with somebody because of how much money they make.
Obviously, if someone hasn't got any money, they're not going to be taking you for luxury holidays. They'll be taking you to Tenerife at most. They won't be taking...
Okay, if all you're looking for are luxury holidays, get a passport and go yourself. That is not love. That is services rendered in exchange for sexual favors. Prostitution.
Taking you to Bali or the Bahamas.
Now this is all part of a larger effort on social media and news outlets to constantly shame men.
He's not gonna get me a tiny ring. Yeah. He's gonna work 500 jobs.
She's divorced. Just putting that out there.
Into spending like idiots on dates, expensive meals, and luxury gifts. Don't buy into this. Because cheap dates are perfectly fine and actually the best way to find out if you even like each other. If you go on this amazing over-the-top date costing hundreds of dollars, is it even the person that you're liking, or is it just the date itself? In Europe, it's perfectly normal to go out on a cheap coffee date or drink date in order to get to know the person and see if you actually have chemistry. But in the US, you see this heavy emphasis on elaborate dates.
So I think coffee dates are the worst kind of date you can go on, and here's why.
Why I don't believe in coffee dates.
Why you're going to die alone. If I don't know you, I'm not going to be spending a bunch of money. Okay, the first date my wife and I went on, we were going to go to Chili's, couldn't find it. We ended up going to the Cheesecake Factory. I'd never been to it. We went, had a great time. But I had met her and spent time with her beforehand. But if you've never met this person, if all your communication was online or through a dating app, you need to know what that person is actually like. So it's okay to get some coffee if you drink coffee. It's okay to meet somewhere and just kind of talk, get to know each other. Because you could say all the great things online, and then when you meet each other, it's, ooh, no, we don't gel. But let's keep going.
Why they are a waste of time. Do not go on a coffee date.
It's extremely low effort, low value. And ironically, it benefits the man and not the woman or the connection.
You keep hearing these gold-digging influencers talking about how guys should invest in.
These influencers are selling women a lie. If a man doesn't spend a bunch of money on a first date, he doesn't want to invest in you. He has to get to know you to invest in you. When you invest in the stock market, in bonds, in property, in paintings, in whatever, you do your research. You just don't throw money around because it could be a bad investment. And then they use this, well, if he's truly masculine. No, you're trying to shame a man into wasting money and time. Time is the most valuable asset we have as humans.
You from the start, otherwise he's not worth your time.
Men fall in love through investing in women, especially masculine men, right? So
invest in what? If I buy an S&P 500 ETF, I know I'm getting an 8 to 12% return for life plus dividends. What the hell am I getting buying a girl a $300 dinner on a first date? Sounds like a horrible investment to me. But hey, maybe that's just me. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Now the women who want a guy to make at least 100k or more claim that this is only for taking care of the family, not because of frivolous spending.
For me, like, it's not about, oh, let me buy me this or take me here or do that. Like, I have every intention of building schools in Africa.
Alrighty, y'all, we're going to end the video right there because it'll get really long. But I don't care what your intentions are with my money. If you want to build schools in Africa, or you want to bring clean water to Turkey or whatever, you do that with your money. You don't need to be looking at me as a wallet to fund your charity events. That's not how that works. Okay? Especially when you're dating. Now, when you talk about getting married, that's something completely different. That's why I've always told people, do not live together until you're married. Because number one, it messes everything up. Number two, what happens if the relationship sours? Who has to leave? Number three, if you can't budget before getting married, you're going to have problems at the wazoo. The leading cause of divorce in the U.S. is money problems. And these women are talking about, oh no, it's not about trips. Yes, it is. This was the only woman in this whole thing that said anything about building schools in Africa. But again, if you want to build schools, do it with your money. Don't use our money. Don't use my money. But let me know what y'all think about this delusion of these quote-unquote modern women wanting 6 figures a year. My name is Daniel. This has been the Complete Husband's Handbook podcast. And I'm going to be doing a lot more of these reaction videos. Because God knows, y'all, if this is what modern men, or this is what men have to look forward to, it's no surprise men are leaving the country. Or just staying single. But let me know how y'all feel in the comment section down below.
How much money?
Alrighty, y'all. Welcome back to the Complete Husband's Handbook podcast. My name is Daniel. And y'all, we've got to talk about something. I know I haven't posted a lot on this channel lately. Simply because I've been tied up in other things. But there's been this push lately for trying to find, the ideal man. And I've got a lot of friends and family members right now who are entering the dating pool or are dating currently. And it scares me that these young ladies who I see as my adopted daughters, or even my nieces, are going into the dating pool based on crap they've seen on TikTok. Now, this channel, FBE Capital, great channel. If you haven't heard of them, look them up on social media. They're on YouTube. They make great They make great videos. I'm going to react in part to this. It's about 12 minutes long. I'm not going to watch all of it. But y'all, we've got to talk about this, okay? The reality of how much people make. And the delusion of the modern woman. So let's watch this, shall we?
How much money should your man make a year?
That's a good question. How much? So before you get married, you and your spouse need to sit down and talk about finances. Talk about what you want as a couple, what your goals are, and have realistic goals. Okay, if the both of you are flipping burgers at McDonald's, you are not going to have an Oprah house, an Oprah Winfrey style house. Okay? This stuff takes time and effort and education. Not necessarily college education, but workplace education.
8 figures.
8 figures.
Ideally, my husband needs to be making like $650,000.
Okay, hold up a minute. 6 figures. You're talking in the hundreds of thousands. 650,000. Most NBA players don't make that a year. And these are all college age girls. That's what scares me. But let's keep going.
$500,000. Over $500,000.
$500,000?
2 million. I'd say like $1 million.
I'm thinking about $1 million.
$1 million a year. Tell me who you know, personally know. Don't give me some public figure. Don't say Elon Musk or anything. Tell me down below if you know somebody, personally know somebody who makes $1 million a year as a man. Now, women can get on OnlyFans, which I do not recommend, and make $1 million a year. Yeah, sure. Show a little cleavage, show a little booty, and beta males will rain down money on these women. And that's the delusion. These women get on those sites and think, oh, hey, I'm going to be making that money because I know a friend of a friend who gets on there, shakes her little tush, and the men throw money at them. That is an unrealistic reality. But let's keep going.
They probably 6 figures minimum.
Okay, cute.
Yeah, definitely 6 figures. 6 figures.
I think 6 figures is definitely decent. So if you're out there and you make 15 million.
15 million or better a woman, you are not Beyonce. You're not Heidi Klum. You are not Giselle. Not Brad Pitt, but Tom Brady's wife. I forget her actual last name. No, boo. You ain't getting a man making 15 million a year. You ain't.
Million or better.
Is that bad?
Oh,
wow.
Jesus.
So obviously all of these people are completely detached from reality and have no idea on how the world actually works or even just how basic.
Now, one of the things I love about FBE Capital is he will censor these e-thoughts or these insta-thoughts whenever they're not dressing appropriately. I know millionaires. They don't want a woman like that. See how she's showing up? She's got, and I hate to rip on people for how they dress. I do. But if you want a, quote, high-value man, a sigma male, an alpha male, whatever the crap they're calling them these days, you need to look like an alpha female. I know alpha females. I've met them. I've worked for them. They do not dress like some 18-year-old going to the beach. They don't. So get your shit together.
Math works for that matter, since not only are they requiring high 6-figure salaries as minimums to live off of, they are also demanding 7-figure salaries from men in order to consider dating them, as if $500,000 is just slumming it. And thus, this creates the question, what does it even mean when women say, I don't date broke men?
That's a good question. Now, the reason I made this channel back in the day is because I've worked with young men who had no father figures. They had no idea. They weren't taught how to live in a household. Most of them came from single mother households, and mama did all the cooking and the cleaning and the laundry, and the son just did whatever he wanted to. Your wife or girlfriend or domestic partner, whatever you want to call them, is not going to put up with that. Nor should she. So, I started this channel because I want young men to understand the difference between this crap and reality. For those who don't know, I've been married for almost 10 years. So I'm speaking as an actual husband who's actually married to an actual woman. We've talked about money. We talk about finances. We talk about budgeting. We do. Because we have to. And so when you're looking for that potential spouse, I don't care if you're gay, lesbian, bisexual, trans, whatever. When you're looking for the person you want to spend the rest of your life with, understand that is the biggest and most dangerous financial choice you will ever make in your life. And these Insta thoughts, these IG girls, do not live in reality. They think they're going to go to Dubai every weekend. They're going to go to Bora Bora. They going to the Bahamas. They going to be driving Lambos and, you know, all that crap. That's a fantasy. This is the equivalent to porn for men. Men look at porn and there's a fantasy. It's not real. Women watch this stuff and think, I can do that. I'm better looking than that girl. I can get a 6-figure man. No. No, you can't. And that's just me being honest. So let's figure out what he said about what is broke.
We shouldn't be dating that broke guy with all the sweet words.
Because I think it's selfish to be broke.
40K?
40K is a deal breaker.
That's a deal. That's like,
most American households do not make more than 50 grand a year. And that was before the pandemic. But it's funny, all of these women who were demanding high salaries, none of them have wedding rings on. If you want to know how to cook, talk to a chef. If you want to know what it's like to have a successful marriage, talk to someone who's married. No, they don't understand.
Absolutely not. No way. Under no circumstance.
No. If you're broke when I meet you, you don't stand a chance. Because...
What's broke to you?
I love that he asked that. What is broke to you? Give me a number. Because, you know, if you came from money, like if you're Steve Jobs' daughter or Warren Buffett's daughter who has generational wealth, you know, if you personally, if you're Ivanka Trump, who's the equivalent of Boss Babe, Lady Boss, she's worth millions. So, I could understand if she's like, hey, you gotta be worth millions too. Maybe not as much as I am, but I need to know you're at least close to the bracket so I know you're not taking my money. That's a fair thing. That's fair. Okay? I can understand that. Because a lot of wealthy people get targeted. We see that with ball players, rappers. We see these girls show up there, get knocked up, and think the child support is a ticket for life. So let's see what this young lady says is broke to her.
What is defined broke?
You make less than double what I make.
So this is exactly the clown show we're dealing with. Now, I touched on this in a previous video where I said that broke these days doesn't even mean being in debt with no income, and this girl just literally said being broke is making less than double what she makes. So if we zoom out of crazy land for a sec and take a look at some basic numbers from the United States Census, then
I love that the videos on FBE Capital, and that's where this comes from. Mad shout out to them. Go subscribe to them. Is they always bring the facts. Okay? They're bringing them receipts. And I love that about them.
we see that the median income for men in 2021 was around $61,000, and for women it was around $51,000. So by her definition, that means that every single guy making less than $102,000 a year is considered broke.
Now hold on, I want to back up just a second and show you the body language. Okay? So we're gonna let it play. Look at that body language. She's looking like, I'm worth it. You know I'm worth it. He's like, child, what? Are you for real? Keep watching his body language and hers.
Her definition, that means that every single...
See that eye roll? She's like, bitch, I'm worth it. No, you're not. You got your shirt open. You're showing off your tatas. Okay? Are you at a strip club? Do you not know how to button a shirt? That is not cute. That is not sexy. Prostitutes do that. Him looking at that like, woman, are you dead inside? These modern women, man, I just don't get it.
A guy making less than $102,000 a year is considered broke, which is well over the majority of men. However, most women think that making $100,000 is easy and that everybody is making this in their 20s.
I'm 20, so maybe a good 75K right now.
I don't know a single 20-year-old who's making 75K. Unless they came from money. I don't. I know people who are in the oil fields right now not even making 75K. And you can make hella money in the oil fields. You're going to earn it, though. You're going to earn it. But that's why these women, you see these women, they just expect to show up and be cute and I am the table. You get my presents. They ain't out there making 6 figures a year. They're not. Most of these women demanding this money, what they have has been given them by other people. They haven't earned it. They're not strong, independent women, don't need no man. They literally look at men as wallets.
5K? Yeah, right now. And then 25, it should be like 150. And then 25, it should be like 150.
How much do you think your guy should make?
You should be making the same amount as me.
Same amount as you?
Yeah, I've made 95K in the last month.
She is the rare exception. This idea that a woman can go on OnlyFans or something like that, show a little butt cheek, show a little cleavage, and all of a sudden she's reigning. Men cannot do that. We can't. Even some of the best looking men in the world cannot do that. We can't. You want to know why? Because women do not want that kind of entertainment. They would rather read a book like 50 Shades of Grey, which is corn for women. Men would rather see it. Personally, I don't know anyone who's made 95K in a month.
The last month, 95K, you think I got... Yeah. Okay, what do you do?
I underwear.
Yeah, she's a lingerie model on OnlyFans. That's what she does.
See guys, just sell your undies online and you'll be making 95K a month ASAP. I don't know why you broke guys aren't doing this. Anyways, back to reality. Since the US...
I love how he goes back to reality. Okay? These women think they can get online and get $1 bazillion. What happens when your beauty fades? What are you going to do with all that money? What happens when the IRS comes and taxes all of that money? Because they will. I guarantee you, Uncle Sam's going to get his cut of your money. But look at this graph, okay? This is U.S. household income in 2021. A little over 16% made 50 to 75K. According to them women, they broke. You got 11%, 15% was 100K to 150K. Now, if you live in a place like New York City, where you have city and state taxes, the amount of money you are paid an hour is astronomically high because the taxes are so high. So are you really bringing home as much money as someone who lives in Texas and gets paid 50K a year? No, you're not. You're actually bringing home less. So my question is this before or after taxes? I can almost guarantee it's before. But let's keep going.
census actually cuts off at $200,000 because, you know, common sense, and because only around 11% of all US households make more than $200,000. So that's both men and women combined, which just shows you how extremely delusional it is to expect a guy to make a minimum of $500,000 or even $1 million just to support you and your crazy spending.
Yeah, look back here. I don't know much about women's fashion, but I know Christian Dior is expensive. So you get this plastic surgery woman with all of this. She didn't pay for that. One of two people paid for it. Either she's had a lot of sugar daddies, or she's selling snake oil, and these delusional women are getting that from her. But let's keep going.
Habits, because ultimately that's what it all boils down to.
To take you on vacation,
offer you a credit card, or give you a wage.
Okay. I'm going to let y'all know 100% something. I'm going to keep it 100% real with you. I make the money, my wife is in charge of finances. Now, that might seem like a weird deal, but it's not. Because I trust my wife to make sure the bills are paid. I'll go out there and I'll kill myself. All but kill myself working overtime. I know when I come home, we got food. I come home, I'll tell my wife about her day, or I'll tell my wife about my day. She'll tell me about her day. We'll have a peaceful meal. Notice the word peaceful. I trust my wife to do two things, and she does them really well. Number one, she makes sure the finances are good, and number two, she brings peace. Now, I'm not saying every day is, sunshine and rainbow Skittles. But no man is going to hand you a credit card or a wage. That's what he does for an employee. Which means he doesn't love you. That's a business transaction. And you know what business transaction that's part of? The oldest industry in the world. Type in, what is the oldest profession in the world? That's what these women are. Type that into Google. Type it in. Find out what happens.
buy you a nice gift.
A Pagani BC.
How much is that car?
Okay, that's a Pagani BC. That is one of the most expensive cars you can buy that are roadworthy. Okay, that can pass inspection. Miss Oompa Loompa thinks she's going to get one of those. No, child. No. Ain't happening. Let's keep going.
I don't even know. Probably at least like 1.5 mil for sure.
Oh my
at
God.
least.
Take you to nice hotels.
Something more realistic that I would get. Maybe like some sort of like F12 Ferrari.
Wait, hold up. Her realistic backup car is the Berlinetta F12 Ferrari, which starts at around $250,000.
Yeah, that's $250,000. That's more than most people will ever see in their lifetime in a car. I'm sorry, do I look like Elon Musk? Mark Cuban? Do I look like Tom Cruise to you? Ryan Reynolds? I am not spending $250,000 on a car. You've lost your damn mind. When I could spend half that purchasing a nice piece of property and then put the other half in investments and have that money make money. These women do not understand anything about how money actually works. But then again, most young men don't either.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, right? By the way, drop a like on the video if you think that this generation is completely delusional, and comment down below what you think. Now, I'm not against buying expensive things that you've worked hard for and want to enjoy, just make sure you can easily afford them and not put yourself in a financial mess.
That's the catch. Make sure you can afford them. Not just can you pay cash money, can you easily afford it? If you dropped that kind of money, could you still pay your bills and feed your family? Because I've known young men who've got into massive mounds of debt, maxed out every credit card they could get to spoil their then girlfriend, and then the girlfriend leaves whenever he no longer got that cheddar. That is stupid. I don't care if you're married to a woman. You do not spend the money you do not have. You don't. Because the bill always comes due. Now, there are certain emergencies, medical emergencies, the birth of a child. You know, we had the pandemic. Everyone in the world was living off of credit cards. And that's personal debt. You got to pay that back. Let's keep going.
However, that's not what's going on here, is it? Because in this modern dating madness, many women just want to be given a $250,000 car or a crazy expensive engagement ring, because when it comes to spending, then all of a sudden they want to be traditional again.
How much should a wedding ring cost?
$62,000.
I don't know any man who spent that much money on an engagement ring. I don't. $62,000 is more than an average American household makes in a year. Here's a fun fact for you. The more you spend on an engagement ring and the more you spend on your wedding, the more likely you are to get a divorce. Think about that. The more you spend, the more likely you are to get a divorce, because she's not thinking about marriage. She's thinking about that ring. She's not thinking about, you know, having kids, grandkids, all that stuff. She's thinking about taking Instagram pictures to put, you know, from y'all's wedding. It's this princess mentality. I blame Disney. It's this no. Okay, no. I'm sorry, but no. Most people can't afford a $3,000 ring. And you want me to spend $62K? You've lost your damn mind.
We had agreed no more than 3 months of income on his end.
I think a wedding ring should cost as much as is in your couple's budget, but mine personally is going to cost around $600K.
Okay, how can she know that? Now, the first part of what she said was true. You know, what's within your couple's budget. But how do you know you're going to find a man that's going to pay $600,000 for a ring? No. That is a recipe for die alone and cat food.
$600K.
I want either Tiffany Co., Cartier, anything expensive where you could see like a mile away.
2 times his salary.
Jesus is what I said. Jesus is what I said.
Okay, first, can we get a moment of silence for the guy who's dating the last one?
Facts. I would never date any woman who said it has to cost 2 years of my salary. Your ass gonna be single for the rest of the life. We done. Because you're living in La La Land. I'm living in reality. Is my wedding ring gonna be twice your yearly salary? Probably not.
I mean, the intensity with which she said 2 times his salary. It's as if it's the most normal thing in the world. RIP, bro. Because there is no way that this type of spending stops at the ring. And I'm sure that this dude is probably wasting a lot of money in that relationship. Anyways, moving on, because we have to take a closer look at what's driving all of these insane beliefs. And of course, this brings us to social media.
Hi girlfriends, and welcome back to Claire Banks Style, where we talk about luxury, handbags, travel, fashion. I just want to preface this video by saying that I did not purchase all of this. Like, you know, I don't date broke guys.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. How many men had sex with her to accumulate all those bags and shoes? I'm honestly curious. How many men did she have to have sex with to get all that? Because she didn't say, I married a rich guy. I don't date broke men. You're a prostitute. You're exchanging the most intimate part of yourself for a Chanel bag. You're an escort. That's all you are. And I know people are not going to like that, and I don't care. You're an escort.
So, I don't date broke guys. So...
The biggest problems with social media is that it's normalizing things that are absolutely not normal. 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds buying their first house, that's not normal. Going on holidays 4 times a year, again, not normal. Buying a $250,000 car in your early 20s, that's not even close to being normal. Neither are $1,000 handbags, $500 shoes, or eating golden hamburgers. Even people with generational wealth.
Now, for those of you who don't know who those 2 old men are, the one on the left is Warren Buffett. He is the quintessential investing guru. He's old as sin. But up-and-coming people who want to learn about money go to him. The guy next to him invented Windows. Yeah. So you got 2 men who got more money than God. And you see how they're dressed? Mr. Buffett's in a simple business suit. And the other guy whose name I forget at the moment, he's got a button-down shirt, a sweater, and some dress slacks. This is how wealthy people dress. When we've seen in them videos of them girls with Chanel, wealthy people don't act that way. They don't. Because wealthy people don't like to spend money.
Refuse to spend their money this way. But somehow, social media has convinced women that if a guy is unable or unwilling to spend in this manner,